I want to jump now into e-commerce bookkeeping best practices when considering tax planning, tax filing services. So I think here I'll take some of this. I really think of this in three major areas regarding best practices. First is your organization and planning. I think tax is both, uh, unfortunately for many, a reactive experience that doesn't need
Mhm.
to be one. It very much can be a proactive exercise. And I know, Chad, you do a lot of work with brands in tax planning and proactive strategies so that at the end of the year, much like Christmas, your tax bill is not a surprise. It's going to happen every year. So
Yeah.
there's certain steps you can take in ways in which you can understand what that burden would be. So I really look at first organization and planning. Then, as I'm beginning to consider at the beginning of the year, pulling things together, accuracy and review. And then lastly, communication and collaboration. So, kind of touch on organization and planning first. Really, what this means to me is start gathering your documents early. It shouldn't be a surprise as you continue to operate a business what types of things will be requested of you by your tax accountant. You want to begin and throughout the year consider receipts for major purchases. Anything that you're thinking about writing off or establishing as an asset, you want to collect and store those receipts in a file so that you can easily refer back to them at tax time. Any significant invoices, bank statements, tax forms that you may have received through the year, instead of scrambling at the last minute, simply have a place in your personal filing system on your laptop that you can begin to create that folder. So at tax time, when those requests come through and the portals are open to start exchanging information with your tax professional, it's as easy as granting them access to those folder. Just a quick little click and drag over to that folder that gets the ball rolling. Also, start scheduling in as you're getting meetings this year. Start putting a placeholder for next year around the same time to start considering, hey, I need to make that call to my tax accountant, or I need to chase down this particular supporting document. Create a timeline for those year-end bookkeeping tasks like reconciliations and inventory stock counts and looking at your asset register to start looking at your depreciation schedules. These types of activities will just help you stay on track and avoid procrastination. And I alluded to it too, start utilizing technology. There's now apps that support many of these things. Invest in accounting software, particularly cloud-based bookkeeping solutions that help streamline your record keeping and help automate tasks like backups and those reconciliations. Also, a plug, reach out to an e-com specialist bookkeeping firm like B Ninjas to provide that support so that we're on top of things, so that you're not looking to invest so heavily in that year-end reconciliation and catch-up, cleanup bookkeeping activity at the end of the year when so many folks are looking to get those returns submitted to their accountants. Chad, any ideas here? Any thoughts on this first phase around organization and planning?
Yeah, I think again, it's part of just like legitimizing the fact that you're running a business and treating it as a business, not as a side hustle, not as a hobby. Of like really going in. Cloud bookkeeping software should be ubiquitous now. Everyone can have access to it, whether it be QuickBooks, Zero, or any of the other numerous variants. But those are the two big players. And really, you talked about scheduling out and scheduling in. There's really an kind of an old school mentality of I'm not going to talk to my CPA until tax time, mostly because maybe he's going to bill me, or maybe like she's unavailable over the summer or the rest of the year, right? But for our clients that we work with, we love working with B Ninjas because the books are up to date. You have numbers to go over with B Ninjas. You can look at ratios. You can see where you're benchmarked in the industry. And then where we come in is on the tax side is filing tax return should be an afterthought because we've met throughout the year, every quarter or twice a year, reviewed your numbers, let you know what your estimates should be, and talked about strategies during the year so that when come tax time, it's like, oh yeah, even before tax time, rolling into the holidays, we know what we're going to owe. It's not going to be this crazy number that we're just hoping that's not going to be huge and potentially put us out of business or have to draw on a line of credit or put on a credit card or something. So you can be proactive.